All right, welcome to Feelings Bubble, another 12 frames per second. I'm Kraken. I'm playing Craigory Danthew, the wizard. And with me today is...
Hi there, I am Morski, but you are free to call me Morski. And I am playing as Hugh, who is the other wizard, a much smaller one.
Wizard Squared.
Yes, it's like the nerds have unionized. What will they do? Probably just raid the library legally and just find a nice pile to sit in and read. Let's be honest.
Funny you should mention that. That's pretty much exactly what our wizards are up to starting out today, I think. Do you think they ran into each other at the library or organized to go over at the same time?
I mean, honestly, it depends on whether Craigory mentions that, hey, it's like, hey, I'm coming to town. If Craigory says that he's gonna be, do you wanna meet up sometime? And it rolls from there. If the answer is no, though, it's probably gonna be a case of he runs into Craigory, literally lights up. I got a picture for this.
Oh,
I mean, I mean, one way or another, like Hugh seeing
oh no. You cut out for me. No. Hello? God, please, it's only a minute in, please. Okay, good. It looks like it's not just me. I can't believe Morski's dead. Please excuse the silence, folks. We are all yelling in the chat.
honestly.
Oh, hello.
The internet is conspiring against us, and hi, I'm back. Hi, I hope the picture loaded. What
The
on earth,
picture did
internet?
load. Oh,
So, so yeah, he using any of his friends ever. It's like, yeah.
this is a pure boy.
And I mean, gonna be honest with ya, he's probably gonna go and hug you.
Oh. You know, I
So I'm
think
gonna roll
Gregory.
strength.
Yeah, do that. And I think Gregory did write and say he was coming back in town. He's picking up that good habit from Pipsqueak. Hey, 15
Oh,
strength. It's pretty decent.
you yeah, especially considering his negative modifier for strength. He probably just like, yay, you're back, and just runs and like maybe you stumble back a bit, Craigory.
With a 5 roll in con, yes, he does.
Oh, the power of tackle hug.
He stumbles back a few steps, kind of teeters and bounces for a moment, and there is a small squeaky toy squeak.
It's adorable, thank you. And like Hugh just looks up and beams, hey, it's been forever.
Yeah, it has been a bit. I think his arms are trapped by his side, so he's just like, yeah, how you been?
I mean, Hugh isn't like after the first tackle hug, Hugh isn't going to hold that hard. Like, if he wants to lift his arms, I mean, if he doesn't want to be hugged, he can just push you back a bit and he'll let go. But
Yeah, Craigory isn't exactly fighting it.
cool. But yeah, you can lift your arms out if you so wish.
uh, although I think I will say, with
And
that initial tackle hug, he's still back far enough to kind of clip a bookshelf. The whole thing wobbled, and there was definitely one
oh my.
librarian whose head like whipped around.
Yeah, I guess we could say Yeah, I think we could say that they're in the library. Would you say it's the library they found at the end of Library Hunt?
It is that librarian. That librarian is Martha, who, whenever Craiger's in here, is watching him.
Oh my goodness. But no, this time it was more of a accident. But like, come on,
Exactly.
like met like Will Smith poses at you. Do you really want to deny this kid hugging his friend? I'd like to think even Martha wouldn't deny that. So, yeah.
Martha kind of sniffs and goes back to whatever it is librarians do. I don't know. It requires a degree. I'm not disparaging librarians.
I mean, generally what I've seen them do, mind you, I've only spoken to like one librarian, and mostly what I've seen her do is keep an eye on books, see which ones are there, aren't there. If someone needs help finding a book, they help with that, and they help put the books back into place. And they're like records of who has or has not taken out a book.
Records of who has and hasn't returned them for 2+ years, you know.
You know, things like that.
Things like that. Uh, has Hugh had time to pick out his books? Or has he just arrived? What's going on here?
Um, Question, that depends. Hugh probably arrived at the time they agreed to meet up.
Hey.
So I don't think he did actually. Like, unless Craigory was like a bit late.
Nah, he was pretty on time.
Then yeah, he didn't have the time to pick out books, because he would have done that if he was left waiting for a bit.
And yeah, Craigory will kind of free his arms. Just go.
I'm going to be honest with you. The Hugh and me is just going, hug. He's happy to stay here for a little bit because a lot happened.
Yeah, once again,
It's
Craigory isn't fighting
nice.
this. He's not stopping
It's
me. He's gonna
nice
walk
to
places,
just.
but he's not gonna walk out of Hugh's grip.
I just have the image of, like, you know how when you have a kid standing on your shoes so you're able to walk with them?
Yes.
I now have that image with them.
Yes. Yes. That's exactly what this is.
He's just enjoying a quiet moment, thank you. Because this was probably pretty recently after Graves' situation. A lot's happened.
That was
And what was that
strength.
roll for?
That was strength. With a 7, Craigory is indeed shuffling forward, but it's very much a shuffle.
I'd say roll it with advantage, because if Hugh feels Craigory trying to walk, he'd like do his best to make it easier. Oh my goodness.
Hugh tries to help, and it becomes an uncoordinated mess.
You know what happens? Hugh tries to help, he trips instead.
Oh no!
You know what? I'm gonna roll Dex to see how badly he trips. Thankfully, not too badly. He trips and he probably stumbles. He's let go, but he probably stumbles into the bookcase by accident and like, sorry.
Martha looks up again, but it's Hugh, so this is fine.
Oh my goodness. You just kind of see Hugh's just a little bit red and his hair's fluffed up a bit in embarrassment.
Craig's just like, okay.
Get.
I don't know what. I know kind of what I want to check out some books on, so. I mean, it's us. I'm heading into the general magic section. You coming with?
Yeah, sounds like a plan. I should probably pick up some books from there too. I'm gonna be honest, I probably should have thought which books exactly he would have been getting, but oh well. I'll figure it out. Ironically enough, it's like I think his options include getting a book that talks about magic books thanks to a certain game that happened also very recently, and might want to check out on those deity shenanigans because boy, that sure happened.
Mm-hmm. I think Craigory's going to roll an investigation on disadvantage because he's trying to look for stuff about uh, the weave, which he has very little information on and probably wouldn't be able to find anything even if there was something.
Oh boy. I think he's also gonna roll investigation after because he'd want to look for the same.
Well, that was already a nat 1! That was a nat 1! He can't do worse!
He can't get less!
There's nothing!
Craigory sees nothing. Well,
this works out. I didn't want to have
that's
to,
a 20. Holy bleep, you got a 24. I'll be honest, I'm thinking of just rolling with it as that, because Hugh has read a book about which mentions the weave before, and he has at least a little bit experience, so I guess he finds a book, but what does it say? I don't know. I'm gonna say it's a general book on some of the deities you can find around. Maybe like folk tales and stuff.
Yeah. More hearsay than fact. Gregory's
Yeah.
nat 1. Oh my god. He's looking. He's trying like all the like maybe 3 keywords he has available. They're coming up with nothing.
Oh my goodness! What are those keywords? But are they just literally the weave?
It's like
fate?
weave, ruin, fates, peace, maybe. But those are, for the most part, many of them are very general, and he just gets returned with like a slew of things to look over. None of them seem specific, and yeah, with the nat 1, he also just doesn't have the patience.
He instead he probably finds like a comic book wedged between all the library books instead. Martha won't like seeing that there.
See, that's not his fault. If things are miscategorized, that's not him. He didn't deliberately mess with the Dewey Decimal. And who knows, maybe it belongs here.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna roll investigation once more. Cause Hugh did pretty fantastically, and a 17, so I'd say he finds a couple books. And Craigory, do you wanna roll me a perception so you can see what they're about?
Hell yeah. Up above. Where's perception? Well, I don't know why I bothered. It's a 0.
12. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I mean, it's definitely not the worst you could have gotten. You probably only see the topmost books. In part because you are so tall. And actually, it's a note about enchanted books and enchanted items in general.
Well, that's interesting. In the dearth of info to be found about, that whole heckin' adventure with the weave and fates, Craigory's picking up books on his first and usual project: ink, colors, outline, all that jazz.
Oh yeah, fair.
Quick investigation to see if he can find stuff he hasn't read already. What? No!
Oh my goodness, that's another nat 1.
No, I'm using the pendant. Fuck you.
Oh my goodness.
Hugh, roll me perception.
Yeah, sure. And that is a +5. That's a 15.
Okay. Hugh does notice Craigory pause in complete frustration, reach up to touch something that's kind of under his shirt, and then like a minute later, it seems he's just got a stack full of very useful looking books. Not 20, baby. Whole new information. So, Morski, please, by the end of this session, inflict a nat 1 upon my boy, because that is how this works.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Here's the
Be
thing.
mean. Be mean. This is your discretion.
You know what? That's fair. I'll need to see what I'll be mean on, but I mean, I guess thank you for giving me this. I'll see what's the worst way I can inflict this possibly.
Funniest,
And
worst,
that fun.
up to you.
Exactly. For all you. It's like, but actually, do you want to roll insight on Hugh? Because Hugh would notice that, and Hugh is genuinely curious.
7.
A 7. Okay. I think you'll see that Hugh has noticed that you've touched the pendant, and he looks curious. You don't know why. Definitely not because of something you did earlier, nah, but you want to ask him?
There's time for that later. It's time to check out these books
my
and,
goodness.
go
I
read.
can't tell you, though, as a player, what Hugh was wondering about. See, Craigory doesn't realize this, but Hugh noticed that, and Hugh is aware that the pendant is magical, but he hasn't clued in onto what it can do. Mostly because he carries it around with him. It's in his pocket, but not in his hammer space. But he hasn't ever used it yet. And he didn't really sit down and look into what is it about yet. Too much has happened. Gonna be honest, he probably forgot about it a bit. So books, shall we roll strength?
Yeah.
A 12?
Oh
my goodness.
Nat 1?
I'm gonna say you have advantage. Let's be nice and give your lad advantage.
That's another nat 1. He touched the pendant. It's all over. It doesn't matter if we deliberately give him a nat fail or not.
The dice really decided that Craigory will get a 1 and only a 1. Does like Craigory trip and the books spill over? Should I make Hugh roll dex now to see whether he dodges the books?
Yeah.
Let's see how badly this goes. A 13. Do you think he gets bonked in the head by a book? Just like he avoids the beginning swarm. Maybe Craigory held too many books?
Listen, with the nat 20, he had so many books. Bit him in the butt.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah.
So
Hugh gets bonked
so
a
like
bit.
Hugh avoids the initial swarm, but he gets like hit in the head a little bit and stumbles and like, ow. Well, are you okay? As Hugh looks behind him and sees Craigory sprawled on the floor and books everywhere.
Craigory just is face down on the ground and just weakly lifts up one hand and goes like, normally it actually takes a little bit for the kickback to kick in. That was quick. Christ.
What do you mean by kickback? Also, just give me one moment, and I think he's gonna hurry over to the closest table, place his books there, and he's gonna come back over and like help Craigory up and help with collecting the books. Also, I guess strength to see Oh, you really picked a lot of books, Craigory. He's struggling.
Oh
He
no.
can't carry them all himself.
Oh god, we've made a terrible mistake.
And I've actually gonna roll medicine because he wants to see whether you're okay. Let me double check. I believe his medicine, yeah, it's a +2. What
Nat
does Hugh
20.
get with a nat 20 on his medicine check?
Oh, okay. With a nat 20 medicine check, Craigory is fine. He's just staying on the ground because this is just his life now. Sometimes this is just how life goes. He's
My
fine, but he's
goodness.
exasperated. But with a nat 20, Hugh, you notice something seems different about. You notice something seems a little different about his hand.
Huh.
With a nat 20, I don't. Yeah, it just seems different. Like, you wouldn't have noticed it if it weren't for that 20. There isn't much visually different, but there's kind of something twigging the back of your brain.
I think then, so Hugh will. And, he's actually gonna ask then, did something happen with your hand? I just noticed.
Craigory does immediately roll over and sit up at that. He's just like, I mean, I guess I didn't think it looked that different though.
I just got, I guess my instinct told me. I just had a funny feeling. I only really noticed when I just came to see whether you're okay.
I mean, I can tell you about it when we get to one of our places, I guess. He's looking over his shoulder, and sure enough, Martha is being extremely disapproving at all these books being thrown around.
Oh my goodness.
And you know what? Maybe it's bad form, but he's just starting to shove as many as he can in his hammer space. Forget carrying them all.
My goodness. Shall I? Admittedly, he's gonna try and carry what books he has anyway. So should I try strength again? Oh my, that's an 11.
He's struggling.
He was able. He was able to pick up some of the book pile. Man, Craiger, you really picked up a lot of books, but he's trying his best. He's gonna hold them over to the study table that's theirs now, I guess. And thankfully, Hugh does not trip over any of the books, because holy bleep, that was 21.
Nice.
Holy bleep, Hugh is really getting good rolls this game. I wonder where that's coming from.
Comes from not messing with comes from not messing with the weave and magic like that. Like, clearly Craigory's got karma coming from.
Oh my goodness.
But no, if they're setting up at a study table, Craiger just eventually gets books over there, gets them back out of his hammer space. What? And he fumbles! Fumbles!
What does he pull out?
He fumbles! Let me pull up his fumble chart. Fumble charts. Here we go. Please load. Okie dokie. 1d20 coming right up.
Sweet. What
16.
does a 16 get us?
Oh, fantastic. Craigory pulls out a book. It's certainly a book.
Okay.
Both of us need to make dex saving throws.
Oh no. Oh no. Well, Craigory makes it.
He sure does. Oh!
Does Hugh make it?
Craigory recognizes what he's pulled out even as it's coming out, so he, leans back. Hugh, this was just a book. You wouldn't know to you wouldn't know to step out of range as this book all but leaps out of Craigory's hands and just takes a chomp at your face because this is a book that bites your nose.
Goodness. Do I need to do I need to roll damage? Does Hugh take damage for this?
I would say no. I mean, the book doesn't have teeth. It's just trying to slap. It's just trying to chomp.
My goodness.
It's toothless, though.
Like, this happens and Hugh squeaks. Hugh squeaks and, you know what, can Hugh roll animal handling to try and get the
Yes, he can.
book?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Hey.
What does Hugh get with a 16?
What does Hugh do to calm down this book?
He's like going to ask, just could you please let go of my nose? And if the book does, he's just gonna like have the book sit in his hands and try to pet it a bit.
Hugh asks very politely. Hugh is a very polite boy. The book considers this, and yeah, it lets go. It was created to bite noses, and having accomplished this for the day, it's satisfied.
Oh my goodness. You just kind of pets the book monster, nose biting book, on its cover, I suppose. And he's gonna look at Craigory questioningly.
Craigory just kind of gives a little shrug. I made it. Enchanted book.
Oh.
I thought it would be funny. It was back when I was a little younger. Yeah, I was gonna left it and wait for a lot of people. It was fun.
Oh.
Forgot I had it.
and he's gonna like laugh a little bit at this, and he's actually gonna pass the book back over to Craigory.
Craigory, I'm gonna roll a d2. Keeping on with the ones, Craigory's nose is a very inviting target. It is very big. The book leaps up and tries to bite it.
Oh my goodness.
But no, Craigory knows his own creation. He shuts that down. He takes it, he's putting it back in hammerspace, and he's going to try to get what he actually came here for. And he fumbles again!
Oh my goodness, what does the magic man get this time?
The magic man gets a nail. Just a singular steel nail.
Okay.
She's like, oh.
He's just sitting here, man. Watching this all go down, he's like, okay. Does this mean anything?
Craigory squints at it and he goes, not enchanted. Okay. Tosses it over his shoulder.
Oh my goodness. Will someone
hey, there we
step
go.
on that though? Hey, now it's about time.
Pulls out the books, the library books he had initially shoved into hammerspace. They're now on the table. These wizards have successfully gathered all their books and commandeered a table. It's only been
goodness,
half an hour.
Was the journey. This was an adventure.
Oh, man.
And I think he just kind of sighs in relief, because his nose is still a bit sore. Just like rubs at it.
And he's just like, yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay. I guess I'll know for next time, huh? Did you make any more enchantments like that?
Yeah, some. I mean, that's kind of what the glove was. Wiggles them fingers.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, and is everything okay? How are you holding up after everything that happened?
Uh, great. Things
Cause
are
there's
things are fine. Been
can you roll insight?
absolutely.
Honestly, I just press. Now my computer's being slow on me.
Uh-oh.
Come on, load. You get with a 17.
Uh Yeah, Craiger's not being entirely straight with you. Because he immediately comes up
I'm
with, like,
sorry.
doing great, doing fine. But,
I'm sorry, but you were quiet a bit at the beginning of that sentence. I did not hear that.
yeah, Craiger's not being entirely truthful with you.
Oh,
He's just kind of dismissing, like, yeah, things are fine.
but something's not right, huh? I'm gonna roll persuasion.
Hey.
With a 17, is Hugh successfully giving the puppy eyes? Because he's like giving the puppy eyes and just, please tell me what's actually going on. You're my friend.
Oh, God.
And I'm a bit worried.
You know, you'd think Craiger would be building up an immunity to these things, being around Boomer. But I think the thing he discovers here is that puppy eyes are individual to the person.
Oh
He's
my
slowly building up a
goodness.
kind of resistance to Boomer. Hugh is another entity entirely.
You cannot resist the small gibbling child. Decimal figured that out the hard way. You now get to do the same, Craigery.
And he's just gonna take a seat. Like, well, okay. Uh, it's been bothering me. That whole thing with, Rikishi or whatever. It's been bothering me. Been poking at it. And there's no information out there, which is even worse. But
Yeah.
that's just me.
No, I get you. It can be hard finding that kind of information, especially on the more obscure deities.
I mean, I guess I could pick Decimal's brains, but I haven't seen that kid since that whole mess. I don't know if anyone has.
I have actually. And he actually brightens up a little at this. I think we're friends now.
Oh.
I found him about a week after the whole incident and we talked a bit. And he visited my place one time and there was an adventure. Do you want to roll me insight for that?
Oh,
Oh
4.
my goodness, I'm giving you advantage because Hugh isn't really the type to hide his feelings.
9 is
A
better.
9. Oh my goodness, Craigery. Um, there sure was an adventure. You can tell that he was genuinely feeling good about Decimal. It's like he's a friend now. And I think you have an idea of what his opinions on friends are. Um, there might be something more to this adventure. You don't know.
Huh. So, I guess Decimal's doing all right then.
I think so, yeah. He's doing better than before, at least.
Good to hear.
Like, there. anything, it's like he's doing better than before at least, and like good to hear. There's then a beat of silence as Hugh actually gets a thinking face of, oh wait, Decimal also came to my place cause he got himself beat up. Well, hopefully it's fine. He'll come back if he needs help, right? He does not say this out loud, actually. Do you want to roll insight again to see whether if you catch on to this trick? You do not.
Craigory.
Oh my goodness.
This wizard is being specifically punished for being curious about, like, fate. Clearly.
Rikishi sensed Craigory's vibes and decided to say hi through the dice rolls.
That might be literally what's going on.
I haven't even been able to use the one yet. Oh well.
Soon. Opportune moment.
Exactly. And I think then he's gonna like pull out the book he found on like different deities and stuff, and he's gonna mention generally the best place you like, I guess on the more obscure deities it's tricky to find lore, though some of like the folk tales and stuff can be surprisingly good on that. If I guess if I had the chance, I'd ask Karina if she knew anything, but And Hugh actually looks a little bit more down.
Rena's to do with yeast, right?
Yeah. She's one of the patrons of yeast, alongside with Faye. They're twins.
Craigory is listening. Craigory is also pulling, he's looking around and he's pulling a few blankets out of Hammer Space.
Oh.
And he's just like, no, keep talking, I'm listening.
I think like Hugh blinks in surprise at that, but like, okay. So I guess the basics for Rena and Faye themselves would be they're like the twin angels of yeast. And a lot of their power comes from their skill with radiant magic, and like Faye's better at healing. And Rena is a bit better at radiant magic. There's like a beat before Hugh brightens up and says, Rena is really good with the bow. Did you know I saw her shoot an apple like that was sitting a couple of rooftops away? It was crazy.
That is crazy.
She's really good. But on my end, I met Rena by chance one time. I kind of snuck out of the house. It was a stressful period. And you may roll me insight for this if you wish.
He will.
But
I also had him roll survival to see how well he'd be setting up this basically blanket fort around their table. With 11, it's not doing so hot.
Oh my goodness.
And a 12 insight.
Oh my goodness. I'll say with a 12 you realize that, yeah, stressful time. You remember what Hugh said about his dad before, don't you? You figure it's probably connected with him. And Hugh mentioned sneaking out of the house. Why would he have to sneak out of his house?
Here's the thing. You posit that like a concerning question. Craigory, nods and pats the top of Hugh's head, and he's just like, yeah, it'd be like that with parents.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
In the meantime, he's got like garishly colored blankets, trying to stretch them out overhead between the bookshelves, anchoring them with other books.
Oh my goodness. Does Miss Librarian see any of this? Does she need to roll perception herself to note a small takeover going on?
You know what? I think she will. And as a librarian, I'm going to say she has sharp perception.
Yeah.
Oh! Now one! Craigory has chosen their study corner well. It's out of the way.
Oh my goodness.
He is setting up a study fort.
Oh my goodness. They're safe for now.
They're safe. This is the best way to study.
Yes.
He's setting up a cozy little study fort, and it's going to be glorious.
Nice. Yeah, oh my goodness. I guess Hugh doesn't notice anything wrong. So what he's gonna do is continue, I guess, and I ended up meeting Rina by chance because I was sneaking out of the house and she was kind of fed up with having to be prim and proper all the time, so she just kind of snuck into the marketplace too, and we ended up bonding over apples. And we just kind of agreed to keep on meeting up so we'd talk. And it's like there's a moment and like I kind of ended up learning some things about deities from that, and like she warned me to stay away from the malevolent ones, but just a sort of, well, that sure happened, but we got out at least.
Yeah, was that to do with Craigory's hesitating because like he's not sure how to step forward here, but crashes onward. I guess that's kind of the memory we all saw, or something different.
Wait, what is he asking specifically? Just like
he's roundabout trying to reference the memory we all saw in Fate's Tangled Strings for Hugh.
Oh. Yeah, okay, so on Hugh's and oh yeah, that yeah, so I don't know how and why, but Father got tangled with whatever those shadows are. Apparently apparently Decimal saw them before too, though he doesn't know what they're about either. But well, one of Rina's jobs is to protect the city, you know, and she came to protect me too. And he's actually gonna be a little bit quiet here, cause he's not too sure what else to say on this subject. You are free to ask him about that, though. If there's anything in particular you want to know.
All right, well, with the 15 survival, Craigory's managed to get the study fort to a pretty serviceable state.
Sweet.
There are blankets all around, cushions on the floor. He's kind of kicked what would have been his own chair out of the way in favor of sitting on the floor with the blankets. And he's just going to also tug Hugh to sitting down on the floor as well.
Oh. Would Craigory, like, pull a blanket and put it one around Hugh?
You know what? Yes.
Bless.
It's like, you know what? He brought this up.
Oh. I think actually with Craigory doing that, there'd be like, Hugh's quiet for a little moment, but he edges himself to sit closer to Craigory, like He's leaning beside him now.
Hmm. So, yeah, sorry for bringing all that up. Was just kind of curious about yeast and all. I've never actually been to many places at all. It's mostly just been Toontown and the woods.
Oh, it's okay. I know it and I think Hugh kind of fumbles over his words just a little bit. I mean, I know what it's like not to have been many places, and East is kind of far from here. And it's entirely fair to wonder what was going on there. I certainly don't know everything that happened.
Hmm. Yeah,
I,
and mysteries bother me. I don't know about you. That would drive me nuts.
well, yeah, funnily enough, I mean, I came to Toontown to find out more, you know? Um, no one knows how we'd solve the petrification problem with Rena and Faye. And someone had to lead the city, so my older brother stayed back and I came out here to see what I could find out and actually see what it's out in the outside world.
Hmm. Well, it sounds like people have had your back, so that's good.
Yeah,
Was your
kind of funny.
hmm?
Or it's kind of funny, I guess. I guess my first meeting with Gaius wasn't the best, but I'm glad I met him. He's that mercenary who helped break me out of prison, essentially, or out of that jail cell. And he's actually the one who suggested I come over to Toontown. Said it's a place of beginnings. And I'm actually gonna roll hammer space for Hugh.
Oh. Ha ha!
Oh, that's a fumble. Okay. Let's see what we get. That is. Okay, so with that, we are gonna get. I need to find his sheet. Oh. Well, not what he was going for, but it's pretty dang close. Hugh pulls out a letter. And Craigory, it's from someone called Tone.
Hmm. Now he's not prying, but he's also looking.
Wanna roll me perception? Or insight?
Oh, there's the good roll.
Oh.
One good roll.
There you go. Hey, remember how Hugh mentioned having an older brother? His name is Tone. And apparently this seems to be the most recent one. And Hugh kind of blinks in surprise and sort of, oh, I didn't mean to pull this out. Oh well. And he actually places it down, so if you want to read it, you can. He's not stopping you. And he'll try again.
Yeah, Craigory's lightly skimming it.
Okay. Okay, this one is successful. And what Hugh pulls out is an intricately made talisman. Do you want to roll me Arcana on that?
Boy, do I.
Oh my goodness. I'm giving you advantage. You know magic stuff, dang it.
Hey, there we go.
That's more like
23.
it. There we go. It's a good luck charm. And he's gonna add on, he actually made this for me. Said it's an apology for everything that went down.
It's good. It looks like it's well made, actually.
Yeah. He's pretty good at magic too, actually. It's what we ended up talking about while he was guarding me. Do you want to roll me insight on Hugh again?
Hey, 17.
Oh, he gets it. Yeah, so Hugh actually has fond thoughts of Gaius, and it seems like they may be in touch still. Probably via letters. And while Hugh does not like that jail cell and everything that happened related to it, but he's glad he met Gaius. Cause in turn that allowed him to come here to Toontown and, well, meet everyone he met.
Yeah, I think this Gaius person was kind of right in that Toontown is good for new beginnings. Even if I haven't always appreciated that at all.
Yeah, and I guess, shall I roll insight for you?
Hell yeah.
And holy bleep. Here's something I forgot too. So
Oh?
hey, Hugh has advantage on insight rolls, and that's a 21, I guess. Thanks to an item he now has.
Well, with those rolls, there's definitely a bigger story going on here, and I feel like Hugh also gets the sense that it's... When Craigory says new beginnings, he kind of says it with like a haha bittersweet.
I think Hugh will look at that in curiosity, and you probably see this, Craigory, but he's not gonna push, so...
Yeah, but you know what? Hugh's been sharesy today. It's only fair to go the other way a bit. Craig just kind of shrugs and goes, when I was born in Toontown, apparently I was created, but I don't remember it. So the first time I was meaningfully here, I did not want to be here. I wanted to go back home.
Oh.
I wanted to go back to the woods. I wanted to go back to where it was quiet and just me and Dama, and leave behind this very noisy, very full, very strange place. And I spent a long time trying to do that.
It can be kind of overwhelming, huh?
Yeah, it was. It was all new, basically. And then eventually I did go back, and it was kind of fine, but it didn't really live up to all the expectations I had built up in my head for it.
Do you at least have a friend or have anyone you could spend time with? Because going out to the woods on your own, It sounds lonely.
It wasn't lonely until I had something to kind of compare it to. Before it was just normal. So then when I figured that out, I was also angry that Toontown had basically ruined what I wanted to go back to.
I don't think Hugh says anything to this, but like, he's actually gonna try and give you a bit of a hug and squeeze you on the side a bit.
Yeah. Leans into it. Just like, I think kind of. I'm glad things have turned out the way they were, but yeah, no, it was a new
It's
beginning, but I didn't enjoy it until kind of the second time around.
what was kind of a rough start.
Yeah, 12, confused, alone, very overwhelmed. Did not make for me to be an easy teenager at all.
Oh boy. He's actually gonna be a little quiet and a bit thoughtful. It's yeah, I guess on my end, I'm just really glad I managed to meet who I met, cause coming here was really scary too. But at the same time, compared to the old manor, it's a lot more free, and I was able to make my own choices for once.
Yeah, and
And
it's the most
I
valuable
really
thing you can
lucked.
do.
It's like, and I really lucked out in meeting everyone. Really, I can't imagine what life would be now without
Oh
March,
hell, the
without
work phone is
you.
going. Be right back.
Oh, sure.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. Okay,
Wrong number,
I
thank
I
God.
better I better start this back up then. Um yeah, I guess Hugh is just like going, yeah, but I really lucked out in who I met. I mean, I met March, I met you, I met Decimal now, and I know Lynn, and like Lynn's doing well. Did you know she's doing well? She invited me to come make chili with her the other day, and like I've made some more friends. It's really nice.
It's good. Yeah, Lynn's doing great. I was there just a bit ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Did me try?
Yeah. Wait. Uh haven't met Rye. Saw a picture though.
Yeah, okay, I did, and he's great. He also, he also knows magic too. He's a druid though, unlike us, and we managed to share a couple notes, so we didn't really manage to talk much. And did you know he and I managed to pull a prank on Lynn and March?
Okay.
He created so much water on top of them, and then I used a lightning bolt, and Hugh has a very cheeky expression on his face. It was good.
Craigory holds up a hand for a high five.
Hugh high fives right back.
Uh,
And I think at this point, Hugh has a small gentle smile on his face. Things might have been tricky, but I don't regret them.
yeah. Oh, Craigory kind of snaps his fingers thinking about magic. A little bit of me, the
Yeah?
player, changing topic because I lost the plot a little bit when I had to scramble for the phone. But
Oh, valid.
Craigory has remembered something. Snaps his fingers, reaches for a chain around his neck, and pulls out the pendant that Hugh had noticed him fiddling with earlier.
Oh. Is that what you were messing with earlier?
Yeah.
I noticed you did something, like you were fiddling with something and then suddenly you had all those books.
Yeah, so I haven't been
So
able
many
to find
books.
any, like, real books or other accounts. So I've been working with what I have, which is our fun little souvenir. Gives it a sardonic little swing. So,
Fair.
don't know if you've been messing with it, but you should know kind of what I've found out.
Yeah, sounds good. And I think at this, you like shuffles around a little bit and he pulls out his pendant from his pocket. I didn't really manage to mess with it. I can tell that it's magical.
Yeah, probably for
You
the best.
you can feel it's you can feel it, but I honestly a bit too much has happened recently. There was the whole storybook mess and then everything that happened with March. Didn't really have the time to sit down and find out.
Craigory's kind of narrowing his eyes at the whole what happened with March sentence, because, that doesn't sound good.
I'm gonna
He might be a bit concerned about
I'm
March
gonna
now.
say Hugh doesn't notice. It's like I'm gonna say Hugh doesn't notice that. Do you ask?
Craigory's making a mental note. Check up on March.
Yeah.
But he's continuing on. So, maybe not too surprisingly, these things seem to kind of mess with, like, chance or fate. So you can make things go your way, but at some point things will then go very much not your way after.
Oh.
So I found all the books, but then I fell flat on my face and spilled them everywhere. That sort of thing. Although usually it takes a while for things to kick in. It's kind of like when it's most inconvenient and you least expect it. So I guess this was kind of mild for today. That's nice. So.
Okay.
I found out so no one else
Also,
has
Craigory is tempting fate so much right now.
That's all he does.
Oh my goodness, dude. And let's see. He's like, oh, okay, then he's gonna note that to self, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Hugh probably isn't gonna mess with this much, but hey, who knows? Maybe he'll use it by accident in the future. That'll be fun.
Said ominously.
Hugh probably tucks it back. Well, actually, no. He was like, do you want to compare your pendant and mine?
Could be a good idea, actually.
And I guess the table is still in front of them. He's like gonna place it there, or just pass it over to Craigory, whatever works.
You know what? If Hugh's offering it over, Craigory will pick it up. He's not sure if that's a good idea, but he's just full of those.
Oh my goodness. I mean, he will ask for it back, because on his side, I mean, it happened. It doesn't feel right not to have it, you know? It's what's in his pocket.
Yeah, there's definitely that feeling.
Was that an Arcana check?
It was. With the limited information Craigory / the players have, I think that's essentially, pretty much identical in look, save for different engravings. I know Craigory is the 6 of Stars. I forget what Hughes is.
Hughes the 9 of Hearts, and his has the traitor written on it, if I'm remembering correctly.
Craigory's got Evoker. And I'm feeling like with that, the actual magic of them feels subtly different. Same magic, but I think with that, Kraken can definitely get the sense that they are attuned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll for Hugh now to see if he notices the same.
Same roll. Same
He,
roll.
yeah,
Exact same
same
conclusions.
roll. Yeah. You wanna roll me insight on Hugh now? Hopefully this goes better than it has. No, it does
Christ.
not. Yeah, Hugh was essentially going, I should probably let Decimal know about this next time I see him. Lynn too. Hugh figures that Craigory's gonna tell Pip, and I guess if any of them see Gray, they can tell him.
It does occur to Craigory right then. Well, hang on. If you've seen Decimal, have you seen Gray? I haven't.
I haven't either. So from my guess is that he's just been traveling around, because that sounds like a thing he does.
Well.
Admittedly, I haven't had the time to look either. It's there is a beat of silence, and just Hugh looks at Craiger in the eyes. Okay, so if you ever find a book that feels magical and has a paw print on it, please don't open it. It's a magic storybook. I got stuck in there with a few hours.
You got stuck?
So a friend was visiting. Their name is Rez. They're cool. They live down the street. And Decimal was also visiting. And March found a storybook at the store. And I mean, we like reading books together, but I guess March didn't sense the magic on it. It got opened though. And we were somewhere else for a little while. We got back out just fine. Do you want to roll me insight on this?
Even worse.
Oh my goodness.
4.
It was completely fine. To be fair, Hugh does genuinely believe it was fine. But also, they fought a bird monster. He was almost kidnapped again, and there was a dragon. But details.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways.
Now we don't have time to unpack all of that.
Yeah. Craigory's probably gonna flip if he actually finds this out, huh?
One day.
He's he's just like, it's fine, we made it out okay. And you read that, I guess. And hey Craigory, have you and Hugh's like stumbling over his words a bit. And I'm going to roll Arcana for this. A 20 pecking free. Cool. Craigory, do you know anything about Denny Plains? Because I think that's where we were brought to with Rikishi's whole thing, and I was brought to another one kind of recently.
Craigory knows a bit about demiplanes with a 17. Like, I'd say that's common knowledge plus a bit extra, probably because he'd been looking into it specifically because they'd been in one. But, it's alarming to hear it's happened again.
Do you want to ask?
He's like, was that the storybook thing? How much have you been getting into since we last saw each other? What?
I'm gonna roll performance to see how this goes. 14. You like see this anime sweat drop behind Hugh's head. It's like, It's not on purpose or anything. Things just happen. Always. Was that insight?
That was an insight. He's pressing X to doubt.
Yeah, what you can tell from Hugh, he's actually a little bit tired. Not because of the storybook deal. That was, in Hugh's opinion at least, that was pretty alright. It was the other bit. And, hey, did you notice the fact that Hugh had a minor redesign? Is that something you noticed, Craigory?
You know what? You say that. That's an excellent question. Has he noticed? I'm going to do a general perception for him.
No, he has not. Holy bleep.
Listen. He came here with goals today. I figure he's like registered that like something's a little different. I don't know if he registered it was a full like redesign.
Honestly, it wasn't. It was just minor. It's simply the fact that Hugh has a brooch that is pinned to his shirt now. It's at the collar. And Hugh's hair tie has a flower on it, and it's like tied into a bow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think yeah,
Woohoo.
that's the picture of the flower, by the way.
Thank you,
So
Staria.
the ribbon is still. Yeah, thank you, MVP. Though the ribbon itself is still the usual ribbon Hugh uses to tie his hair and the color of his shirt. And I think with Craigory asking that, he was like, well, I don't actually know if the storybook was another demiplane. That whole thing was a bit unusual, but not that bad. But so March's Pass came back to say hi for a bit, while I and some others were hanging out with him. So we got to deal with the problem. We were brought to another demiplane. It was a forest of some kind. And do you wanna roll me insight on Hugh again?
Yes, and Craigory is taking that earlier mental note of check in on March and underlining it.
Yeah.
Nat 20!
Nat 20, holy bleep. So here's the thing. Hugh is genuinely glad it's over, but he got a bit of trauma from that. He definitely got a bit of trauma from that, cause I mean, Hugh witnessed a death. Hugh technically witnessed 2 deaths. One was in person, one was he saw a memory. A little bit like Rikishi in Rikishi's realm, so Hugh's just kind of That finished, but he's currently recovering from that. If he'll be honest.
Well, I think Hugh had already been leaning against Craigory. Older wizard just kind of like slips an arm around, just like, okay. So things have really been happening, huh?
Yeah. I think he's just gonna lean into that hug and just. Yeah, his arms go around Craigory too. Comfort's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's. I mean, I guess it's. What do you do when you see that much blood? It's gonna be a little while before I'm okay seeing that much, I think.
Yeah, makes sense. Hey, Morski.
I think at this. Pardon?
You say your thing first.
I know, just at this point, Hugh is quiet, and he's taking in the comfort because he needs it.
I was thinking, unfortunately, here might be the point for that enforced Nat 1 to kick in. I have an idea.
Oh, I'm listening.
I think this might be the point where if Librarian got a Nat 1 on noticing this whole setup earlier, if this place has been running on sort of background stealth, I think this is the point where it fails. They're having a quiet moment, Hugh's vibing, and the blankets are ripped away. And there was Martha.
I think Hugh like squeaks and actually goes in like closer to Craigory because
Yeah, and Craigory's not pleased at all. And you know what? Actually, this is where the true Nat 1 comes in. He'll try to do an intimidation to make Martha go away because, hello, you're having a moment here.
Yeah.
You, your favorite of the two of them, is having a time, but it doesn't work.
Oh. F in the chat.
F in the chat. And she leaves Hugh alone because Hugh seems to be having a moment, but she just looks at Craigory with like this look of disdain and goes, "You can make study forts in your own space."
It's okay, we can go. Craigory, do you want to go to my place? I don't think you've been there yet.
You know what? I haven't. And after all this, I think I want to catch up with March.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, he's still kind of subdued, but he picks up his books. He's probably just gonna check in with Martha to like just get that whole business done, and I'll make sure to return these by then and then.
Yeah, Craigory's giving Martha kind of stink eye.
Oh.
But yeah, gather the stuff. Craigory stuffs all the blankets and stuff back in hammer space. And fine, he has once again been evicted from a library.
Oh my goodness. Should we make them roll survival to see how long it takes them to get back?
You'd think they'd know the way, but you know what? Knowing them, for fun, yes.
To be fair, Hugh does have a map, but also he's not feeling the best right now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Normally Hugh is the one who would navigate them, but he's actually a little bit down. Processing that stuff is a trip, but I will say they do make it to the apartment. So it takes them a little while longer, and maybe March is there. So maybe things can end off with like they do get to the apartment. And there's just kind of a little bit of chaos as these two wizards are welcomed by a barbarian inside, and there can be more chaos with books and hot chocolate and and more feelings bubbles in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when they finally make it in after a bit of wandering, the moment Craigory realizes March is there, it's just gonna be like, doesn't quite push Hugh at March, but figures March better knows what to do.
Man, I feel like this would be a moment where there's just a freaking hug because March would pick up Hugh and he would happily, well, let himself be picked up.
Aw.
And I think Hugh will actually tug Craigory into the hug because dang it, you needed to, dude.
If he's being pulled, he lets himself be pulled. March's forearms. Good for many hug.
Yes, exactly.
Is that
And
how
I
we'd
think
like
that,
to end it?
yeah, it's like, I think this is just small smash cut with the, with just a group hug between these three.
Excellent.
And I think this is where things cut to black.
That sure was a feelings bubble. Thank you, Morski.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's like there was lore, there was feelings, there's getting bullied by a librarian, all good things. Also, my goodness, those nat 1s and nat 20s in this game.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. RJ, I'm looking at you. You've cursed my boy with terrible rolls, which he asked for by specifically doing what he did today. And with that, I am going to end my recording. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for having me, and bye-bye, everyone.